Hi guys, and welcome to my review of chapter 900 of One Piece and a little bit of 899. Uh, um, let's start with 899 because I'm still wrapping my head around 900 so much. The previous chapter was I really loved it. The last chapter was almost the complete opposite of this one. It was like so sweet and nice. It had a little bit of like a dark tone in the beginning, I feel like. Especially with Big Mom reaching the cake and stuff. Because that just like spelled danger. Especially now that we know this chapter. But it was really nice. My favorite part was obviously the Judge Sanji Luffy thing we had going on, because I did say 2 chapters ago that it would be really cool if Sanji and Judge could fight. Obviously that made no sense, and all of you were like, no, he's gonna fight other guy, what's his name? Names are escaping me here. You know who I'm talking about. Daifuku. I was like, something with D. Daifuku. Which with last chapter really seemed that it was gonna happen, and with this chapter I'm not entirely sure, and it could be anything. I really like that confrontation, because it was like, why do you like Sanji when he's all of these bad things? And then Luffy's like, why are you saying only good things? And it's a really nice like matter of perspective, just very, very nice. And I talked about that as well in my Luffy review analysis, about how he's really good at like reading people and stuff like that. And also I really like Sanji's response as well when Sanji said to Luffy, like, obviously he did not mean it in a good way, because I talked about how Sanji does not have the best self-esteem and stuff like that. I think last chapter really hammered in exactly why Sanji acted the way he acted the entire chapter. Is the arc is the word I'm looking for. I thought it was really, really solid. But if you want to talk more about it, you can always just leave a comment. I just wanted to give my thoughts out there, because I thought it was a really, really good chapter last week. Anyway, this chapter. I should probably have like expected this to take a bad turn, because the title literally had the word bad in it. And not just bad, it had bad end in it. And the fact that it ends with the Straw Hat flag burning, I'm pretty sure that's what it is right there, burning. That's just not a good sign. I'm really overwhelmed because I really like the way that Oda set it up with the happiness and just like the happiness and just pure joy that Big Mom felt when eating that cake, especially when we had a little flashback with Sanji where he was just like, oh, I was just imagining Big Mom's happy face when she eats this cake, because this was always meant to happen. Like, if you were on the Straw Hat side or if you're on Big Mom's side, this was the outcome you wanted to happen. But it just only worked out for one side. And I especially, because I think that parallel between like her joy and just like the utter chaos that just happened everywhere else except just in her mind and her surrounding areas or whatever, just wow. And the very last panel where you have that side-by-side comparison of her just being like, and then you have like you have this you have Prometheus there, and you have all the balloons. Like it really mirrors one of the first instance we saw Big Mom, where she was walking through this happy thing and singing her song. I have the volume at home, and I'm really annoyed that I don't have it here, because it's really nice. It really envelops that one volume, the pink rainbow volume, where they first arrive at Whole Cake Island. Because I feel like this is what Big Mom is. She is this happy, joyful, cute-ish thing, but also so full of destruction. That's just... that's not a really great thing. You have, like, her ship... does it have a name? The Singing something? I don't know. The Singing Ship... and it's just, like... shooting cannonballs and things are exploding and setting on fire. It just, the art parallels and the art was just so good. I'm also I'm struggling a little bit with interpreting this chapter correctly, because there's obviously a correlation between Big Mom, her mood, and the fact that they're suddenly doing so well. Because obviously there's the whole thing with, like, if you take this part by part, it's like, oh, Brule just gave us these Germa, the bullets that can hurt the Germa. Like we've seen these before, that pudding used on Reiju. And you have Oven burning the sea, making sure that the fishermen can't do shit. But it's like as soon as Big Mom eats this cake, the entire tide turns. And of course it also has something to do with the fact that, oh, now they're not suddenly scared of an inside threat. Literally, their strongest player could potentially, or is currently, not really on their side because she's having a tantrum. So of course there's that whole thing, but it just feels like when she's in this really good and happy mood, all of her homies, all her little soul pieces, they become stronger as well. And I'm also just struggling a little bit with the little army they sent to her. Because are they just making this really nice scenario for her? Or are they actually, like, moving her? Because she was just on the cake. And they were pretty close to Cacao Island, so if they could move the cake onto, like, the ship or whatever, they could, like, sail her safely while she's enjoying herself to the Straw Hats, and that would be pretty damn destructive and not good for us. So I'm struggling a little bit with interpreting that, because, like, I'm not entirely sure what's happening on Big Mom's side. Is she just eating the cake? Or is there more there? I'm not fully sure. Like, please tell me your interpretations, because I think it's not entirely clear. But that's really, I mean, it could just be coincidence because it's a story, but it just seems like there is definitely a correlation between the fact that Big Mom is just suddenly in a very good mood and not her tantrum, and just everything going so well for the Big Mom Pirates. But then let me just go back here. We had what, again, I'm assuming are new characters, since we don't get to see their faces. What's the point of hiding people's faces unless it's a character that is making their first appearance in the arc, or just first appearance generally? The guy with the scythe and the little heart thing, and just basically the Grim Reaper. Who the crap? Because they did talk about, like, not obviously the Germa bullets things, but this guy is really giving them a hard time as well. I mean, Yunji is falling over, the other three are not having a good time. I mean, the Germa soldiers were freaking annihilated. Judge is, like, up against, can I find that panel? There. Again, we don't get to see their faces or even their bodies or anything. Judge does not look happy. I said this to my friend last time, because she was in Italy with me. I was like, okay, now the Judge is not wearing his helmet, but like the bandages instead. Could we please see those goddamn eyebrows? That it seems like a thing that should happen. I'm really sorry about all the horses. I'm visiting my mom, and she just really likes horses. If you're wondering why there are so many horses behind me. Yeah. I'm just I'm very overwhelmed by the chapter, because we have so many allies. We, like, just think about this for a second. The Germa, they were hyped up to be so much, and the way they were originally taken out was like, okay, I mean, you could have thought this through a little better. We expected a little more of you, but I'm gonna accept it, right? And then they're coming back, and they're just real cool. They take out, like, the entire, like, I don't know, the army that came for them originally, and then they barge in, and they save Luffy and Sanji. And they seem to have everything under control, and they're like, we're gonna show you what we're made of. And it was just really cool. Those 2 chapters ago, can you believe it was just 2 chapters ago? And in this chapter, they're just being like, they don't stand a chance. We have the sun pirates coming in and saving us last chapter, and then the sea boiling. Like, it's just, that was one guy taking out all the fishermen. That's how bad it is. And Capone and them, they're like far away. They are on the Fluffy Island, right? Which, I mean, apparently it's not that far from Cacao Island, but it's not extremely close, because the whole point of them going to that island was to have Big Mom further away from Cacao Island. But they're still there, and they're still not, like, in a good spot. Who else do we have? Dead people. Caesar is still somewhere. I would like him back. I think how much more can Kara do? Because she was very tired after having used her Sulong form, but I think she's mostly recovered now. Luffy is not gonna do shit anymore. That's not gonna happen. But the 2 people we need to see fight, and I am gonna say 2, because I do think we need both Sanji and Nami to fight. Because, yeah, I know we all talk about that Sanji hasn't had a fight, and it's really sad, and this is his arc, and he hasn't had a fight. I think Nami should have one too, because she hasn't had one since... I want to say Water 7, but then a lot of you are gonna say, oh, but she fought Absalom. I mean, that was a joint effort between her and Sanji. Yeah, I think she hasn't had a fight since Water 7 either. So, like, technically her and Sanji are in the same boat. And I know Sanji is, like, a designated fighter. And again, this is supposed to be a side, but I really want to see Nami fight. Like, it fits with the pattern of every time she gets her new claim attacked, she has a fight. And I might be forgetting something. She might have had a fight. I don't know. But if she's had a fight, it has not been more of a fight than what Sanji's had. Let's be real. And I would really love for her to fight. Because I think she has... I don't want to say she has something to prove, but I think she could definitely do a lot of damage. And I think she's in a place where she could potentially do a lot of damage. I think being able to control the weather in this kind of situation could be pretty damn important. And now that we have, like, a bunch of new enemies, there are just so many more for them to fight. I don't want to see a single comment about how Smoothie was not in this chapter. I'm so done with those comments. Please don't. Just like with the last thing I made, can we keep the complaints, like general complaints, until the arc is over, please? I'm so over them. Because I just know that's gonna be a thing. Because I still want her to fight Brook. I know a lot of you were like, oh, but she can still, like, squeeze things out of things that haven't need liquid, like I still think it'd be a cool fight. Brook can freeze stuff. I mean, and what was the thing with her just suddenly growing real big? I mean, I could talk about Smoothie a lot, but that's mostly because she's very pretty. But anyway, I don't want to see comments like that, because I feel like it's a thing. Like, as soon as I was finished reading the chapter and I had not seen her, I was like, damn, I'm gonna get so many comments. And I might just have made it worse. Let's see. This chapter was really good. If I was still following the anime, I'd probably be really excited about this getting animated, and this might be another thing that would make me want to go back to the anime. Because there are things I would like to see animated, but I'm not a big fan of just picking out the scenes. So I want to pick it up from where I left off, which was right before Whole Cake Island. Maybe one day. Do I have more to talk about? It was just really good. I really liked it. Just because I really do not want Luffy and them to come out of this as the victors. Obviously, I want them to come out safe, unharmed, with no more deaths. But I do not want them to win this. Because Luffy not winning this, Luffy knowing that he went out of this without having won, knowing that yes, he defeated Katakuri, but that by no means meant that he won the fight or the war or whatever, that's gonna make him more cautious when they go and fight Kaido. This arc is very, very important. It's very important that they lose this so that they can win against Kaido. You learn so much more from losing that you learn from winning. And I'm so in favor of them losing this. I know I do still see people, and not necessarily my comments, like it's just all over like on Twitter and stuff, where people want this arc to end with Luffy versus Big Mom, or they're disappointed that it doesn't seem like Luffy will defeat Big Mom. And it doesn't make sense. At no point in the arc has Big Mom been the main villain of this. That was never the point of the arc. When Luffy goes into the arc saying, I just want to get Sanji back, I don't want to fight anyone, that means that he's not here to fight. He's not here to fight. He does, like, Luffy going into enemy territory, knowing that he's gonna fuck shit up, and saying, I don't want to fight. That means you're probably not gonna see a fight, like, against the main villain or whatever, the most obvious main villain. Big Mom comes later. It's not a common thing for One Piece to go back to past villains, especially not in this way when they have not been defeated yet. But Oda can break his pattern. That's not something he's not allowed to do, and I would really, really love for Big Mom to come back and be essential to the plot more than for just the one arc that she's involved in. Like, she's an emperor. And the title of emperor is so much more valuable than a Shichibukai. Like, they have a lot more power. I mean, freaking Bucky is a Shichibukai. Can you even? But yeah, I have feelings about this, but the main point here was that I just really want the Straw Hats to lose, but not in the same way that they lost to Bandi, and not in the same way that Luffy lost to Marineford. I just want them to go out of this arc not feeling like winners. They achieved their goal, but at a very high cost. And I think that's just very necessary going into Wano, because the thing about One Piece is that it's getting darker with each and every chapter. So it's not all gonna be happy, which I really like. I feel like as the audience matures, the story matures as well, and I really like that. Because I mean, at this point, most One Piece fans are like adults, because we've been following for quite a long time. Like when I got into One Piece, I was like 15 or something like that. I got into One Piece pretty late because it was so long. I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm like on a completely different topic now. But I had some things I wanted to say, and I guess that opens up a lot of discussion, and there's probably not a single person that agrees with everything that I just said, but that's okay. That's okay. We're all allowed our different opinions. But you can leave a like. You can leave a comment about literally anything I said. And you can subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, bye.